Welcome back from the Alzheimer's Society of Lanark Leeds Grenville. I'm talking with Education and Support Coordinator Sean McFadden. And today we're going to be talking about the possibility of people who have early dementia, or they think they have early dementia. There might be another cause, and it may not be dementia. Sean, that's possible, though, that it can be misdiagnosed?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, even ourselves, when we notice someone is either spaced out or they're not able to hear me, and we think, oh, maybe there's a little bit of dementia setting in, right?
Well, we tend to jump to that conclusion.
We do.
But that's skipping a lot of steps before we should actually be thinking that way, or certainly saying it. So if somebody is noticing an issue in a loved one, or if it's early on, then the person themselves will notice that things aren't ticking along like they used to, and they'll say, I think something's up.
Yes.
Some of those folks will start saying, oh my goodness, I'm getting dementia. Really foolish to think that at that point.
Because they don't know. They haven't been diagnosed, right?
No diagnosis, and some haven't even looked into it yet.
And we automatically think the worst instead of it could be something else.
That's right. I think human nature, our brain is hardwired to jump right to the negative first.
Yes, unfortunately.
I mean, we all do it.
Yeah, we do.
So
we do.
The person that isn't really thinking accurately will do that, and then they get all kinds of worry going on and stress going on, which is in itself a bad thing.
Right.
Which can affect your memory.
Yes.
So they really need to slow it down, talk a bit with them, their loved ones perhaps, and go have it looked into.
Yes. Seek professional advice on it. Find out what it is.
Yep.
There might be some tests that need to be taken that they're not even aware of. Has absolutely nothing to do with dementia.
Right.
So the signs of dementia, I'd like to go over those if we could, because some of these, there could be reasons for, other than dementia, right? So we know memory loss.
Yep.
Right away.
Yep, that's where people go first, right?
Yep.
So if their memory isn't like it used to be, and I must say that as we get older, our memory isn't like it used to be, but that is considered normal aging, right? But there's a fine line between what's normal and, when you do get dementia starting. But if it's not as crisp and as quick as it used to be, it's not necessarily something to be alarmed about.
No, because we are getting older.
It happens.
And, the brain cells just aren't running as quickly as they should.
Nope. No.
And inability to concentrate.
Yes. So all kinds of reasons for that. And that would be all different age groups throughout your life. We all have different things that we get into. And student in school, lots of things. But one of the things that would be one of the main reasons why I can't concentrate is I have perhaps too much on my plate, too much going on at the same time. Multitasking is not a good thing to do, and people that are multitaskers pride themselves in it, but it's not good. One thing at a time, get it done well, right? So I concentrate, I'm able to concentrate, and the other one would be the S word, stress.
Oh yeah, the big one.
So the big one. If I have too much stress on my shoulders, I haven't dealt with it, you're not concentrating.
Okay, in a discussion, if somebody is not, if they have issues in communicating with the other individual, is that a sign of dementia?
Well, it certainly could be.
Or couldn't find the words to convey what they're trying to tell the person?
Now, are you asking the person that doesn't have the issue or the person that does have the issue?
The person that has the issue.
Okay, person that has the issue can have all kinds of communication issues, right?
Okay.
And finding the word is one of the big ones.
Okay.
Now, granted, we all run into that. I can't think of the word, right? But it'll bug us until we think of the word maybe a couple minutes later.
Yes.
The person that has the early stages of dementia or the beginning of dementia, it'll certainly frustrate them, but they will forget that they were trying to remember the word.
Okay.
So they move on.
Okay, now I'm with you.
But it's very noticeable for the group or the loved ones or the family or friends that person's part of. They will pick up on the fact that they can't find the words.
All right. So if people are in either a party environment or somewhere where there's lots of people and there's discussions going on, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And either the individual that's having problems relating to the discussion and being able to be involved in it has hearing aids.
Right. So again,
Yeah.
a necessary evil as we get older. Hearing aids are something that comes up in conversation, and our doctors are talking to us about it.
Yes.
But bottom line is, if I have a hearing problem, I need to have that looked into, some testing done. If it's real, I do have a hearing problem, I do need hearing aids, and I need to make sure that they operate properly.
Yes, definitely.
From that day that I get them to whenever. And there'll be tweaking involved. You just don't get them and then put them in and then say, okay, I'm good to go.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No.
We change. So we need to have testing periodically done to make sure they're working properly. If our hearing is poor, then the wheels in the brain that are connected to our ears don't turn because it didn't hear it, right? The goal is for brain health is we want the wheels to always turn. Many different ways for it to do that, but hearing is one of the big ones. So if the wheels don't turn, brain cells are not created, neurons aren't strengthened and new ones created, nothing happens because I didn't hear it.
Because it's like exercise,
Yeah.
right? You have to exercise your body in order to keep doing the things that you want to do.
Right.
And if you're not exercising your brain.
Right. You could consider it a muscle that needs exercise.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of the whole person.
So we've been talking about memory loss and whatnot. Is head trauma a big issue when it comes to, maybe it is dementia has set in, or no, it has not set in, it's something else?
Right. Well, the most common form of head trauma would be a concussion of some sort.
Yes.
So we do ask folks, have you ever had a concussion? Right. So a concussion can occur at any age. Stuff happens. And it's not a guarantee that person's going to get dementia. But what we have is a weaker spot on the brain where the concussion occurred. And that doesn't necessarily go away. Right. So I have it. I get older. If dementia came knocking, it would find the weak spot. And it's like a door that's open, it would go in, right? Possibly.
Yes, yeah.
Right? Everybody's different.
Right.
But head trauma, yes. And if I already have dementia and I suffer a fall and I hit my head, that certainly can make everything worse.
Okay. I have a small list here of things that I was reading about. And I can understand to a certain point why people would be very, very concerned, and why it does not necessarily mean that you have dementia. Like infections. I mean, infection is something that, messes with your whole body, correct? So it doesn't mean that you have dementia.
Not at all. The big one when you're thinking infections would be what we call delirium. Delirium can happen to anybody at any age. And if it comes to a person and it gets to a point, that infection builds within their system, gets to a point, and one day they will be completely different than you would know them normally. And again, human nature, we jump right to oh my goodness, they've got dementia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it does affect your memory and it does affect your cognition as a whole. And you are very different and acting different, and your communication would be different. When that sort of thing happens, though, we want to get the person to the hospital setting as quick as possible, figure out what it is, and then we treat it.
Right.
So delirium can be treated, but it is considered a medical emergency. If I'm already living with dementia and I get a delirium, the dementia will be 100 times worse until I get it treated.
All right.
The downside to that is once I do get it treated, I don't have a good guarantee that I'll get back to where I was beforehand because my brain's already compromised.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With a healthy person, you might say, yeah, I'm back to normal now.
Yeah.
But with a person that's had dementia for some time, it's very risky.
Now, Alzheimer's Society has a fundraiser that's coming up very quickly. Would you tell us about it, please?
Well, it's a car wash that's going to happen over at Brockville Hyundai here on Stewart Boulevard.
Yes.
September 7th.
Okay.
From 10 to 2 p.m.
Is that Saturday?
It's a Saturday,
Good.
yes.
Okay, so come on over.
Car wash and barbecue.
Oh, you can eat. You can eat while they're doing the car.
I would imagine so, yes.
Okay. All righty. Thank you for coming in today and sitting down with me and talking about whether it is dementia or it isn't dementia.
Right.
Because we have to go to the doctor and get diagnosed.